Okay, so I'm going to get into story time right now. I never wanted to get into this situation that happened to me on YouTube. Basically, I encountered a demon on YouTube, and it attempted to convince me to work with him using revocation prayers that I had written to put on a live radio station that he had on YouTube. But at that time, I had only been on YouTube for like 6 months, and most of my videos consisted of binding and rebuking chemtrails. And you could say not a lot of people, especially brown people, I couldn't find anyone that would want to practice that theory with me, with fasting and learning about the frequencies that you can play right before you go to sleep, and you can astral project and battle them. But that's a whole other subject, but I'm just kind of giving a little bit of the background where I was trying to come from, and this demon found me and convinced me that he believed in those things. And you could say I grew frustrated that I couldn't find my own people to believe in these theories, so I gave this demon the benefit of the doubt, and I tried, and it attempted to trick me. So I'm going to read you this comment from a video of other people that have been exposing him. And this happened some time ago. And now with understanding, I know what he did. So he prays against the Anunnaki, and he's very racist. He knows those are our ancestors. And I believe he perpetuates against mothers that have children, and there's a big child trafficking ring on YouTube that people are part of, and he reminds me of that. And they perpetuate against real women in the physical form, and it has an effect in the spiritual plane. And they use the rituals that they do on the children of those women, they use those rituals to infuse what they do in the astral plane, for those that know what I'm speaking about. And the way that I realized this is the moment that I was going to be able to share my revocation prayers on this supposable radio stream, which now, fast forward in time, I find out that he was streaming it on another channel, which is infested with chomos. But I guess I can't specifically call them out that, because they get all political correct and they act like the victims right away. And I'll show clips where he's speaking like this. And so I'm going to read you this. My name used to be Glitter Sparkles on YouTube before I changed it to Pretty Monotheism. So I said, I'm Glittery Sparkles, had to change my name unfortunately. This Aaron guy and his buddies have been stalking my channel for almost a year. It all started 6 months ago when he came to my channel, gained my trust by saying sweet things to me, like that I was like a hero to him because of my prayer and revocation ideas into disabling negative frequencies. I believe in the power of intent of prayer. After months of gaining each other's trust, he asked me to send him a picture of my ID to prove to him I was no agent, and to join that radio live that he had. My intention was to put my revocation prayer theory out there along with the frequencies. And in my mind, it was like, I'm going to do it for a good intent. And if he had bad ill, the Most High will take care of it. But I never thought he would have taken it this far by now. And now knowing what he's involved in, I realize why he actually wanted my ID. It wasn't because he thought I was no agent. I'm pretty sure it's obvious that I'm not. So if any of them look into it, it's like, agents are rich. These people are rich, they live in good cities, they live in good neighborhoods, and the real targeted people don't. So, anyways, I did, and okay, so after months of gaining each other's trust, he asked me to send him a picture of my ID to prove to him I wasn't no agent. I did, and I have regretted it so much since. After I sent him a picture of my ID, he then convinced me to do a prayer session with him and another individual named Tony. Later, this individual spoke in another language, attempted to spellcast me, thinking I wasn't going to understand Latin, and said women shouldn't be allowed to pray with them. They both kicked me out of the prayer session because I declined to pray for the protection of Israel on a blood moon day where they were actually bombing Palestinians. And they thought I didn't know that what was going on that day, but I did know. And the fact that they were praying for the protection of a country where they were killing poor brown people, I knew that. So it was like I kept going along as they were trying to set me up. And right at the end, I ended up rebuking them. And so, yeah, look, I'm going to show you a little bit of what his channel used to look like and what a hypocrite he is. He goes to somewhere where he thinks the Anunnaki city was, entering the Anunnaki. And he fishes right there. So what audacity do you have? So what audacity do you have, racist man, to perpetuate against brown women and their children? You have contacts that are chomos, and then you act like you go into these auditings, protection for brown people, but you perpetuate against them because of the connections you have, and you pray against the Anunnaki, but you still have the audacity to go where their mountains and cities were, and you fish there. But this is how you talk about them, hunting Anunnakis, but you're okay with going there and fishing, right? You're a real hypocrite. So, fast forwarding in time now, if you notice, I have never spoke on my channel about this demon that I encountered on YouTube and how it tried to trick me into praying and saying revocation prayers for a day that the Palestinians were being killed on a blood moon day, and this demon attempted to trick me to use my revocation prayers for the protection of that evil country that was killing many Palestinians on a blood moon day on Halloween, which was on the year of 2019. And it didn't fully trick me because I ended up rebuking him on a live. But what I didn't know was that it was also being streamed on a pedophile network. And till this day, this demon has my voice where I'm saying my prayers. And what these sick men do is they'll ask you questions like, oh, did you like that prayer? And I would say, oh, yes, I thought it was very nice. I liked how it made you feel. It was a strong prayer. So they'll edit that part out and they'll put it in. Well, now I do know, because even though I haven't spoke about this demon that I dealt with on YouTube, other men have been exposing it, and it's been related to a bunch of chomos and pedophiles online that do auditing. And this is where I got the idea that a lot of the police auditors have a bad record, specifically going on the sexual predator area, because when they do auditing, I'm thinking they're going to try to get some sort of free speech rights for pedophiles where they can express their sick thoughts online. Not that they already don't, but they want to be able to do it more publicly without any repercussion or them getting in trouble. So, but that's a whole other subject. I'm just saying this demon hasn't left me alone. And these people that are exposing him now, all I do is mirror their videos that they do on him. But the videos that they do on him is from recordings that they have of himself admitting to being related to this chomo. And what's interesting here is that on this video that he recently did, he says, is a pretty monotheism the next truth convoy in training. And this lady, Truth Convoy, she has been getting harassed by multiple people online, and she's having problems with some channel named Agent 19, and I've seen him do videos on this lady. And even though I have no idea who these people are, the fact that this demon Aaron is slightly comparing me to this lady is going to make that other channel, Agent 19, which he's having problems with her. They're both, they have some kind of issue, and by Aaron relating me to her is a slight dox into trying to shut me up, even though I don't even talk about him. Like, I know you're related to pedos, bro, because I can't do anything about it. We all know that. And so I really wanted to look into, well, who is he trying to compare me to? So when I looked to see who was Truth Convoy, I believe her story. So I believe her, and when I wanted to see who is the person that's attacking her, I looked up the channel, and it's a channel that's named Agent 19. And, you know, there's paperwork out there on who this person is, this big channel, and it turns out he molested a girl when he was 19 years old. And that girl that he molested has my same birth date. And I always feel that these pedophiles online, they are satanic warlocks, and they're hired by the system to look for easy targets, girls online that are doing videos, and you're already in the truth community. It's a risky subject to be in, and YouTube is a setup for this type of things. What are the odds that these big channels have records of sexual molestation and things like that? What are the odds of that? And they're still here, and then they go after anyone that finds out who they are. It's like people have the right to know what they're being affiliated with. So all I wanted to know what was that this guy, this demon that I dealt with, is still trying to relate me to, so that I can get dragged into this whole shenanigans that he's being exposed of being part of, which I already knew and nobody believed me. But the moment others started exposing him, and I started mirroring the videos of these people exposing him, now they're harassing these people, and they're putting my name in titles relating me to people that actually do expose pedophiles and have had their life tarnished already. So it's just really sad. I just wanted to speak out a little bit on what goes on YouTube, and Ever since I joined YouTube, it's been nothing but, it hasn't been fun. But at the same time, it's like I hope it breaks some sort of domino effect and it reverses the damage that these people have done. And yeah. So I'm going to play a little bit of this video so you can hear what the demon sounds like.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is 7/15/2020. 420 on the Vortice time. Yep, that's right, the 420. Even though I'm recording this as a podcast later, this is a legal reproduction of evidence. Submission by the Naked Hot Tub Network. Currently under occupation by the Cox and Cox and Cox and Cox and Associates.
You know, when this guy tricked me, he did not speak like this. And we would talk a lot about frequencies and different methods on how to disable them, because I know that they're using the 5G towers to open portals in sanctuary cities. And the ones that know about this, a lot of them are people that used to be in the military, because they know about the hertz and the frequencies that are used to bring an aircraft up. Have you ever thought about how does an engine lift itself? You think there's no frequencies in its surroundings that have to enable that? Well, these military airlines, they have the means to do that. That's why whenever there's an aircraft or a personal little airplane, you have to go get it registered so that they can allow it to be up there with the rest of the frequencies, and it doesn't mess up the other frequencies that they have going on for other aircrafts that are doing other things in other countries. But I really believed him when he told me that he wanted to use those revocation prayers for good. So that means disabling frequencies that certain aircrafts were using to bomb poor countries. And that was my goal, is that when you work with other people, it's stronger. And for a long time, I've been looking for my own people, brown people that know how to do this. Like, I'll give you another analogy of when we do this, is when we do the hum in the middle of the night. We ordinate the frequencies and we lift the vibrations higher, because the frequencies in sanctuary cities are working on a 60 to 84 hertz, which is very low dimensional. And when the descendants from the land raise up the synchronicities, it heals and it breaks and it messes up those low vibrational synchronicities. But we need to do it all together. So for a time I was doing it on my own, and I was getting the repercussions, and it was because I wasn't being covered. I wasn't following the commandments 100% like I was supposed to. And now I do. Now I know about those things, and it's not necessary for me to find people. But at that time, I didn't know. And I fell for this trick. I got frustrated that I wasn't finding people to rebuke and bind chemtrails, and I grew frustrated and I gave this demon a chance. But something in me told me to not fully trust him, and I never did. Even when I sent him that picture of my ID, I really wanted to prove to him that I was okay, that he could trust me. And God willing, I felt that if he had bad intentions, that he wasn't going to punish me at the end. He was going to be punished because I did everything for a good intention. I did everything on that day for goodwill of all races, for your race too, Aaron, not just mine. But you took it a whole other level, streaming it on that pedophile network. And when you actually go out of your way to silence me and then say that you didn't ask for my ID, that's when I realized how diabolical it actually all was. So it was a lesson for me, and I can honestly say I haven't trusted people the same way ever since that experience. And I told Fearless about this experience, and it really hurt me when we disagreed on Tupac being a female to male, that Fearless and Camby went out of their way to find this man, this demonic man, this Aaron guy, to talk to him so that they could make it look like I've been harassing all of them.
Be a real person, but she's met up with some people that have brainwashed her. Now, is it before she met up on our channels, or is this during the process? I don't know, but the way it's same thing with me, Camby. The way she ended up on my channel, and then I went to her channel, checked it out, and I was okay. Hey, cool. You're into frequencies and stuff, and we talked a little bit, and everything seemed to be cool. But it boiled down to her. It was about me, when we were trying to do serious work, and it actually.
And that serious work that he's talking about is praying against Palestinians and satanic crap.
Kind of messed. She got in our way of doing serious work,
That's right. I rebuked them.
trying to take the subject matter about what she could do, not the power that God has given her to blast chemtrail planes out of the freaking sky. It's not the way it works, Libby. Your powers don't. No one needs.
Look at the bucket crab coon defending this chomo protector. Camby.
To steal your powers to blast the chemtrail planes because it doesn't work, and that's your power, not what God has given you. But I mean, I could sit here, go back and forth all day.
God has given everyone that right to rebuke and bind what is not from him through Matthew 16:19. Don't forget that.
And dispel this BS. Yeah. I mean, the real issue I have though is her calling people pedophiles, and she slandered my family and called them transgender on the internet. I mean, it's where do you draw? Where's the line drawn, right?
Okay, but they slandered me first just because I called Tupac a female to male transgender. So if you're attacking me, I'm gonna try to find out why over a disagreement that shouldn't really have gotten too far. You shouldn't have never harassed me or sent somebody to stalk me just because I had a different opinion from yours about that character, Akil the MC and Tupac, which are the same person, the same female. So you went out of your way, Camby, to attack me first, and it's crazy how you contemplated with this chomo protector as a way to discredit me and try to make it look like I harass these chomo protectors, which I consider you that now too.
It's like, wait a minute, you're calling people, molesters and pedos and all these things. Where's the line drawn, you guys? Because that is insane, and I can't believe people actually live like that. And the craziest part is, she claims to be someone who is of the Lord, right?
And this thing supports Spotify rappers, but he tries to make it like a conspiracy. But what it's actually doing, it's promoting transgendered rappers that come from Spotify and TikTok.
religious beliefs or whatever. But it's like, she knows that she's lying. So isn't that a sin? It's like,
So they all perpetuate it against me. And that's something I would never do. Like, I would never go to your enemies, Fearless or Cambies, just to get back at you. That's very diabolical. And to know that he's related now with pedos, and you still went to go do that, because I showed you all the proof. And this man still to this day has not left me alone. So I'm gonna have to speak about it now. Well, yeah, I'm gonna play his video so it can...
See, this is a legal reproduction, so this video cannot be struck or serious. Repercussions will happen. See, the repercussion or reproduction means that there's things that are laid in to the production here, okay, that allows.
I'll say this. I think this person is part of a child trafficking ring on YouTube, which consists of a lot of racist Anglo people that are in the truth community. And when there's melanated and brown people commenting, they are considered easy targets. And I know this because Aaron told me this. He told me that we are considered easy targets. So this is what they think about us. And to hear him tell me that just to try to get me back, because I didn't want to pray that day against Palestinians, I would never do that. Because I didn't want to do that, then he started texting me and telling me all these ugly things that he actually thought about me, how I was stupid for being with a guy that couldn't protect me, and how cops were always going to harass me because I had a guy that couldn't protect me, and things like that. What else did he say? He said melanated people and brown people were easy targets. And yeah, so okay.
For myself to take somebody else's work and reproduce it with music and other visual things like...
I'll just play my music over your video. You're such a fucking dumbass. You don't get it.
Okay, the lasers in the background there. So if you think that you can strike this video because I've used your content, no, it's because you've given evidence. And boy, oh boy, do I have a lot of things to present that as far as, yeah, we can say there's going to be some evidence and some opinion in here. You know, like, I always go back to the opinion of, you know, God being hijacked. See, that's how I met Clovis. Miss Clovinator. Oh, her and Kareen got me on the phone with her and hangouts and something like that. Well,
Okay, so right now, he's just fake fighting with these women. These women, I don't even know who they are. But for a fact, I know that they're just fake fighting, because this is pretty much a habit by now. I've seen it being done to others, that he goes and talks about, oh, this lady, and that this lady's exposing him, but it's actually not true. They're friends, and they're only pretending like they're fighting just so that they can bring up my name, and they can rub me in with whatever they're getting exposed with.
back, is it long ago? Okay, long time ago. And oh, Miss Clovis, such a great gospel singer and about the Lord, right? And I thought that she was gonna be singing more in her shows, and that's why I watched. Because, you know, I actually like that people will do an interactive show, not just BS anymore. See, and I could have plenty of opinion right here about Clovis. She came out with this video about 20 minutes ago now and kind of redeemed her ass.
See, they're just
Because I
fake
was
fighting.
starting to think, you know, that Kareen Walker might have been right there for a little while. Maybe Kareen Walker did walk in on some nefarious things happening in the Harmon home. in Illinois or Missouri. See, I might have people's information, but it doesn't mean I'm doxing it. Okay? A dox is more than just giving out a first and a last name that's already been provided on social media.
Isn't that petty? Like, that's what a stalker would say. I have your information, but I'm not doxing it to pedos. Yeah, I have pedo friends, but I don't talk to them every day. Yeah, that pedophile touched that girl, but she was a druggie anyway, forgetting that she was 16. How pathetic can you get?
Alright, and that's not me. Unless you're a dirty politician that's been busted recently for something big. But hey, I'm not the one that's intellectually speaking here, right? I'm just a dumbass. It's got a horrible YouTube channel and multi-streams to multi-platforms and... Oh, goodness. Yeah, really, Clovis, the reason why, since we're talking to each other now, okay, even though I went into her chat with the Axiom probe and it was deleted, it was banned, and she said come back with your regular name, and that was banned. We'll get into that some more, but oh yeah, this is good. I think this is either the 5th or maybe 6th video put out on Aaron V. Cox today, right? I don't know why I'm getting all this attention. I'm just a guy that needs to go fishing, huh? Clovis, shut up. Somebody else trying to tell me maybe you should just go to a different platform. More than a couple people, right? No, I'm already on a lot of other platforms. And there's a reason why, you guys, I never started a Twitter. I've never been on Twitter. Never signed up. You know what? Some of these people that might be working for the Black Cube G4S, well, they certainly went around and signed me up for a bunch of social media sites using my name a while back. Dang it, I couldn't prove that, but you know what? I bet you Becky Dean would back that up, because I think they were doing it to her at the same time, and I brought it to her attention. Going, look, these people are actually, I just tried to sign up on another social media site today, and lo and behold, my name's already been taken. And there was a video out there, that's why I can talk about it. There was a video out there showing how they were signing up with my name and under other social media platforms. Very interesting. Also very interesting bringing up fishing there, Clovis. I should be out going fishing or something like that, right? Well, the last time that I did that, Miss Linda Lemons was tracking me, giving up my location to make sure I wasn't in my studio to be able to refute the bullshit.
Notice how he's playing himself as the victim right away as the video starts. Like, I don't know who he's talking about, but he's just acting like the victim way too fast.
They were putting out about me on G+ a few years back. But anyways, yeah, that's really all I've got to say, and I'm going to refute things as they come up. And yes, this is a back and forth, and I am reserve that right? Right? Want to say that I use tracers, and I hacked Kim Arnott's Skype, right? Hey, Clovis, the reason maybe I am not that great of a public speaker.
I'll be glad to clear all this up so I can just be done with it.
Yeah, me too. She just wants to be done with it, right? Maybe the reason why I'm not that great of a public speaker is because I'm taking on a lot by myself, right? And I don't think there is really any pedophilia going on, and even if you want to call Beware Mouse a pedophile, you're wrong, but that's your opinion, see?
Incident report number 01-16634. Case report number 01-1800, dated 6/1/01. Offense, aggravated criminal sexual abuse. Pages 1 through 6 not provided. Page 7. First 9 lines redacted. At about 2:24 a.m., RPD dispatched officers to the redacted residence on a complaint that Rex Fredrickson was at the front door wanting to talk to redacted. On my arrival in the area, I found him walking away from the residence near Belmont Drive and Dahlhart Avenue. When I asked him why he had been at the residence, He stated he had, quote, spurned, unquote, a girl there and needed to make sure she was all right. I explained the allegation made by Redacted and took him into custody for further investigation. At about 3:05 p.m., I advised Frederickson of his constitutional rights, Miranda warnings. Continued. Page 8, which he waived. Detective Sullivan was present for the warnings and interview. Frederickson related that he had initially introduced himself to Redacted because she looked, quote, depressed, unquote. He had tried to cheer her up by asking her to marry him. He befriended her over the next several weeks and did things such as walk his dogs and give each other back rubs. He had also described the workings of his internet business and discussed her working as a salesperson. As time went on, they, quote, crossed more lines, unquote, with their physical behavior. He stated that he knew this was wrong because she was only 16 years old. He also explained that he was, quote, stressed, unquote, due to 2 years of celibacy. On 5/28 or 5/29, Redacted had come to his house, and while alone in his bedroom, she had masturbated him to ejaculation. She had initiated the encounter. He also stated that on 5/30:01, Redacted had come to his home again, and they had gone into his bedroom alone. They had mutually undressed each other. He stated that he touched her breasts and buttocks. Continued. Page 9. Performed cunnilingus on her and had penetrated her vagina with his lined out with initial correction LPM, quote, 2 fingers, unquote. He also stated that Redacted had tried to position herself to force him into vaginal intercourse. He was unable to penetrate her vagina with his penis due to her being, quote, too dry, unquote, and a tampon being present. He stated that he eventually ejaculated after rubbing his penis in the exterior of her vagina. He described this as, quote, dry fucking, unquote. He denied using any threats or force. He stated that the sexual encounters had been for mutual gratification.
And he was 40 years old at the time, and this girl was 16 years old, and there's recordings of the demon I encountered where he's calling her a heroin addict and that it was a setup. Like these chomos aren't sent into poor neighborhoods to take advantage of girls, and they offer them, oh, I'll give you a job as a sales person at my office and such. So yeah, I'm not going to pay any more of this, but you get the point.
Frederickson provided a written statement. Note, due to legibility, the statement was later transcribed to type format. At about 5 p.m., Frederickson was released pending review by SAO and approval of complaints. Reporting officer's signature, field supervisor's signature.
Legally, gotta get down to, you see, you want to go up in front of the judge and call Beware Mouse a pedophile. Since we're talking about going up in front of a judge, Clovis. See, and I appreciate Clovis actually standing up for me and saying, no, these people are not pedophiles, and I don't think so, but there's a lot of proxying going
Because they were fake fighting the whole time, you see.
on. For some reason. Wherever that's coming from. Right? And I'm going to try to make this as nice as possible, and you know what?
So basically, the demon I dealt with at the end ended up getting exposed as being a chomo protector. And then they have these menopausal women that just like back them up. And it makes them look like they're not pedos because you see women saying, oh no, they're not pedos. But they don't, what nobody says is that they ended up touching brown kids. So that's why it's easy for these racist women to say, oh no, they're not pedos. Because they're going after brown kids. That's what it is.
Since I did bring up Corrine Walker earlier, Okay? I think she was a great woman of God. And she's kicking your guys' asses right now for the lies that you're doing and whatever.
And so I really wanted to look into, well, who is he trying to compare me to? So when I looked to see who was Truth Convoy, I believe her story. So I believe her, and when I wanted to see who is the person that's attacking her, I looked up the channel, and it's a channel that's named Agent 19. And, you know, there's paperwork out there on who this person is, this big channel, and it turns out he molested a girl when he was 19 years old. And upon looking on who this demon was comparing me to, I found that this lady found information on that person, Agent 19. So I was like, I might as well see what this is about, since this demon is trying to perpetuate this other channel to probably come against me, since he's comparing me to this lady that's exposing him. And upon finding the information that was being put out on this Agent 19 person, it says evidence, well, go all the way. The State versus Jardine, Superior Court of New Jersey, January 15, 1988. Decided January 15, 1988. Prosecutor for the State of William, Assistant Prosecutor appearing. So it goes, are charged with, among other things, the crime compounding to C-29-4 and move dismiss those counts of the indictment. So it goes, evidence presented to the grand jury disclosed that on April 29, 1986, Frank Jardine offered cocaine and marijuana to a 15-year-old girl, showed her pornographic pictures, fondled her breast, attempted to have her engage in sexual contact with him. That evening, the victim relayed this information to her mother, who promptly reported to the local police department. Within 2 days, a search warrant had been obtained, and both the mother and SS provided full written statements to the authorities. Their statements included information that the interval Jardine and his wife had sought to persuade the mother not to pursue the matter further. The mother refused, stating she would see Miss Jardine in court. SS and her mother were subpoenaed to testify before the grand jury 3 times, but on each occasion failed to appear. Between the first and second scheduled grand jury sessions, the mother and another daughter met with Jardine. He agreed to pay them $50,000 to leave New Jersey and not return for any grand jury or court proceedings. Almost immediately, the family moved to Florida. So you see, I mean, that's very scary if this big channel is in fact this person. And I do believe this lady. So just think about the idea that these big channels are on YouTube, and it's no surprise that this person, when he goes and does videos, he always wears a mask. And I don't know, I just get a very sadistic vibe from that person, but I've never been on that channel, so I can't really comment much. It's just the information that I have gathered on the people that this demon is trying to get attention from. And well, yeah,
Whatever you're protecting. Whatever lie
I really hate that I had to get to all in the beginning, but
you
I
put
have to
out there
put
about
it
me,
so
she's pissed.
you can hear where does my
Alright?
name come in,
And that's
like,
all I'm
and
going to
even
say about it.
how. I don't get it.
And if there was anything nefarious that had to happen,
The way I see it is, if my name is on this video, I can comment on the whole thing.
that came
So there it
around
goes.
with her getting into a possible hit and run or an accident and having a brain hemorrhage and then later on passing away, find out about it. Okay? Maybe that's why she is pissed. Because a lot of people were trying to throw Corrine Walker up under the bus and use her at the same time. But Corrine Walker saw a little too much because why? She was being used because people thought that she was dumb. Well, see, I still get to reserve my judgment, but do I get to have my opinion? I'll let out my opinion. What I wanted to prove also before I keep on going was with what happened between myself and Libby, Miss Glittery Sparkles, Miss Pretty Monotheism. We're going to be getting into some fact about that and why I responded. And I remember now because the more these people bring it up, the better I can remember what happened, see? Want to remind me of the bullshit and that just doesn't sound right? What if I asked, what if Miss Glittery Stalkers was such the damsel in distress and I put her to the test by going, well, if you're really in distress, you know, you should send me your ID so we can help keep an eye on you. That wasn't persuasive, and it was more like, boy, if you're really in distress, if you feel comfortable, you can send me your ID and we'll help keep an eye on you. Something.
Now, do you see how this demon straight lies? I have never trusted you light folks, you getter duns. I've never trusted you guys. I gave you the benefit of the doubt. Consider yourself lucky, Aaron, because I never needed your help. I just wanted a way to put my revocation prayers out there, and I figured if you had malintent, the Most High is going to take care of you. So you're lying, saying that I was like acting a damsel in distress. I shared with you how I know that cops are dirty and how I wouldn't trust them because of the way that they have treated me in California. And I was just sharing that with you. But you went out of your way and told me that in order for me to join a radio station that you had going on YouTube, which now I find out it's called The Wicked Development, which is full of pedos. I didn't know, okay? I didn't know that was it. So you told me that I needed to send you a picture of my ID because you would say you couldn't believe that I wasn't an agent because you would say I was so young to know everything that I know about frequencies and how did I know about that stuff, and that mostly vets use the binaural beats for the trauma that they hear on their ears when they're in battle and things like that, and that how would I know about those things. And I shared with you that I knew about the frequencies because of the whole 5G, and also because of the whole thing that has to do with trauma. When you find out that they use white sound and there's too much sound in the city, it's traumatic for the ear. So there's certain beats and hertz that vibrate certain parts of your brain that will make you feel nice because of so much sound that you hear in the city. So I wanted to combine those two methods about frequencies and revocation prayers to disable the negative airline frequencies that they're using to kill poor people in other countries. And this demon now says that I was acting like a damsel in distress and that I asked this white man for help. Like, you think I think you can help me? You are a corporate slave. I can help myself even better being a native woman to this country. I don't need your help. Okay? So that doesn't work, okay? So let's just continue with what he keeps saying.
Goes down, you go up missing, we'll come find you.
Come find me.
You seem like you're a child of God there that does need protection, but wait a minute, why are these people stalking so bad Miss Glittery Stalkers herself? Well, I'll be adding that in. We'll bring that all up because all of this proves one big case is there are bad people in the background trying to get us to fight to keep.
So now what he's trying to do is LARP me in with other people that are exposing him as similar things. And I'm gonna play certain things that he has said regarding his little friend that violated a girl when she was 16 years old, and that guy was 40 years old at the time, and they keep saying that that girl was a heroin addict as if that makes it any better, and it doesn't. A chomo is a chomo. So, yeah.
Their own cover,
Let's see if he stops talking about
right?
me now.
And
I'm
I've been
sick of
saying that
him.
from the beginning, okay? Because I think we all were pretty cool there for a while until people got involved in the background spewing some pretty nasty accusations. Was it Corrine Walker? I don't think so. Okay, and there were other
So
things.
we're gonna play a mirrored video of the demon admitting to supporting a guy that actually pled guilty for molesting that girl at 16. And yeah, we'll just play. So that demon has changed its name on YouTube several times because people are exposing him. But if you look right here, when he was called this, he used to have a video where he has some kind of equipment to record something. And this kind of equipment I've seen a lot in Hollywood when they're recording videos and things like that. So this just gives you an idea of, I think, the background of where he's coming from. I don't know no Hollywood people, so yeah, I wouldn't want to.
Alright. Use this under fair use. For educational reasons.
And now the person speaking is the one that's going to mirror the video of the demon where he's admitting to supporting that chomo.
So what should we do, guys? Guys and gals? Should we just hang it all up? Throw everything that I've worked on for 20 years away? Just because I supported a convicted pedophile?
It's messed up. He just admitted that, or he's saying, yeah, like, it's not messed up supporting a convicted sex offender or pedophile.
And now the guy that was mirroring the demon saying these things, he has now left YouTube because the menopausal women that back up the demon have harassed and stalked him so much to the point where he has now left YouTube. So it's a blessing to be able to find this video where the demon admits to this, because that's what they get mad about when you just keep repeating their words. Nobody's exposing you. You exposed yourself when you're calling that 16-year-old a heroin addict. But you can't admit that a man that's 40 years old touching a 16-year-old, whether she's a druggie or not, they took advantage of her situation. How many kids don't go through those stages? God forbid it's one of your children and there's a sick man around, and now there's men with other women saying that that 60-year-old was a druggie anyways. Okay.
Yeah, it's messed up.
Beware, mouse. That over 20 years ago signed an affidavit that was already written out. He's probably told, hey, you might want to sign this or really make your life miserable. Isn't that kind of tell what our justice system has been up to?
No, what the justice system has been up to is silencing the victims of pedos. And then they let these pedos run mutt on sanctuary cities, raping brown girls. That is what's really going on here.
That is ridiculous. If I was charged with a crime that I did not commit, I would fight it to the end. Whatever the risks. So that's not a good excuse to use here.
We got clowns like OJM and Abe Balance
Yeah.
that say they're for freedom of speech, but yet they're trying to get people shut down.
I'm not trying to get anyone shut down, and of course I believe in free speech.
Beware Mouse would be on the air if a judge didn't want him on air and he was still a threat. The poor guy can't even get it up.
Did you guys notice that, like, if the judge wouldn't want him on the air, and, like, he can't even get it up, like, he's so old, like, he can't, I don't know.
These charges were from 20 years ago. Do you think I would support somebody that's still an active pedophile?
Okay, but the reality is, so he was 39 when he committed the crime on a minor. And now it's 20 years later, like, yeah, all is forgiven, I get it, right? Technically, yeah, you are supporting a convicted sex offender. Publicly, online.
And Beware Mouse does claim that he did not do what he actually signed and pled guilty for.
Oh,
Why would
we all
somebody
believe
do that? Why would somebody sign an affidavit? I don't think he filled it out himself. People are saying Beware Mouse.
Is that a conspiracy theory?
Has a signed written confession himself. No, I don't think that was his handwriting. So
whose handwriting was it?
OJM's first link on his.
Whose handwriting was it then? It wasn't his. So he was framed? Is that what you're saying? Aaron V. Cox YouTube channel?
On his video, looking for a response, right?
That's the guy that tricked me. Oh my god.
Well, that first link that he published there in his description box were two court documents that Desert Sentinel obtained that were actually supposed to be sealed. So by Juliet or whichever county in Illinois actually sent out that affidavit, they messed up. Just like Abe Balance messed up. Just like Desert Sentinel messed up. Just like OJM now messed up, stepping into a honeypot.
Okay. So you're saying it's a honeypot. I don't know those other two channels, but I'll tell you one thing I know about is public records, okay? It's kind of like when a stolen valor person, someone who's like pretending that they were a soldier and they're claiming stolen valor and they say their records are sealed. Kind of like another person that Cucks supports. I'll get into that another video. Says that, but records are sealed. So they weren't sealed, making them public records. So this, you make no sense basically. But what is some shock?
That's what Beware Mouse is.
So now, the guy that used to mirror those videos on the demon, admitting to these things, he has left YouTube, and now the menopausal women are saying disgusting things about him. And I'm gonna play it right now. So, right here.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. On August 8th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are all going to investigate JoJo's kidnapping. Now, he claims that Renee drugged him up, sexually assaulted him. Jay told me that she used a 10-inch black strap-on dildo for the sexual assault. But JoJo denies it, so we're all going to investigate this, all right?
So what's crazy is that that lady that's speaking, she tried to come to me and try to get me to tell her what happened between me and Aaron. But I never spoke to her because I never trusted her. And it's crazy that if I would have spoken to her and told her anything, she would have been flipping it on me like how she is now with this other person, which is the guy that was mirroring the demon's videos, which has left YouTube now because he probably knew, he fell for this lady and now she's flipping it on him and they're making it sound dirty, very degrading. This is how they treat real men that expose pedos and Karens that support them. And that's what's going on here.
I told
And I'm glad I never spoke to her. She would have been flipping
all
it
of you,
on
I
me.
have clairvoyants in my family. I got 4 clairvoyants. One of the clairvoyants is my sister. So when I asked her if JoJo got drugged up, kidnapped, sexually assaulted, she said, how many times do I got to tell you to stay the hell off of there? All of you are crazy. Stay the hell off of there. She's like, who in the hell is JoJo? I said, well, he's one of my stalkers. She said, well, that should tell you right there how credible he is. So I did clear Renee in this one. I cleared Renee in another case. So I cleared her twice.
And most of these ladies, when Aaron was stalking me, that demon was stalking me, and I still wasn't telling anyone, they were part of that. They would be on the live making fun of me, everything that he would say about me, saying that I'm an illegal, that I have buck teeth, and that I was, that binding and rebuking chemtrails doesn't exist, when he came to my channel telling me he believed in that. So all these women were there on the live chat, going along and adding to the fire. So
But we're going to see
this doesn't surprise
if
me.
there's anyone who doesn't believe her. And we're really going to look into this. Because someone told me that when she invited him over, they did some romancing. So I asked Renee, she said no, she didn't do no romancing, but he was mean to her cat. So like I said, next Saturday, if we're home, if we're not out of state, we're going to talk about this. And I have to make sure that I'm sober because it's possible that Lee and Aaron, and Aaron Malcop might be in here. Now, if Lee and Aaron Malcop are in here, I got to make sure that I'm sober. Because these guys are funny as hell. And like I said, I got to make sure I'm able to hold it together. Seriously, we're going to look into this.
They're bullies. That's so sad. Like, even if it didn't or it did happen, like, why make it into like a whole YouTube show? Like, that's already like a silencing tactic, you know?